Choose carefully. Which worldwide banner has the most value? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the worldwide campaign Dual Dokkan Festival. These are the Dual Dokkan Festival banners that are available during the worldwide campaign that basically give you a shot at pulling any Dokkan Fest unit all the way up to, from last year, Fizz Turles and Tech Super Trunks. So we're going to talk about what units are available on each banner and which one I believe holds the most value for your tickets. Where should you be spending the bulk of your memorial tickets that you'll be getting here on the 28th at? So let's go ahead, let's hop on in. Let's take a look at the first banner here. So this is the World Tournament Goku banner, right? There's two banners, basically his banner features all units, all of these units here, with Fizz Turles being the most recent banner, being the most recent unit, right? This is pretty typical for these Dokkan Fest banners every year. It basically goes up to the August to October Dokkan Fest of the year prior. So, I mean, don't expect any 2024 DFEs on here, right? But, I mean, what's available isn't bad, right? You have a shot at World Tournament Goku, who still has some use. Kid Goku, who, once Roshi drops, is going to see a huge boost in usefulness. STR Kid Buu, who is probably on his way to an easy... Basically, everybody from Kid Buu onto Gogeta here is in line for an easy A within the next year. So, I mean, it's not a terrible thing, right? So, you know, these are pretty all good choices. Like, androids still have plenty use here, right? There's certain strategies that still make use of them. There's a half decent chance that these guys easy A during this campaign, if this campaign centers around the Broly movies, right? Part 1 movie 8 and then part 2 movie 10, there's a half decent chance these guys get an easy A, because I doubt we'll ever get a true Bio Broly celebration. This is probably the closest we were ever gonna get to it. So I mean, it's not out of the crazy likelihood. Gogeta definitely probably coming up soon. Otherwise, right, you've got Tech Buu, Kefla, right? Two of the best easy A's, at least Dokkan Fest TUR easy A's, right? And then from there on, you got some older Dokkan Fest easy A's. Not exactly the best, but then we start approaching into the 120s, and that's where things get interesting, right? Because the 120s could be in line for an easy A here soon. Basically because, you know, while Global did, well, not Global, Dokkan in general mentioned that, you know, there would be some kind of order to the release of the Dokkan Fest Super Easy A's. There's a good chance that, you know, anybody from on here, right, I would say pretty much anybody from Vegeta on down stands a good chance of getting a Super Easy A, depending on the theme of the celebration, just because of the limited cast of characters within these sets, right? So there's a pretty good chance, right, you could pick up some of these characters, right? If there is going to be a GT celebration anywhere in the near future, you can guarantee one of these guys could be seeing their Super Easy A, right? The Goku, maybe not Omega Shenron, maybe not this Omega Shenron, because I think, doesn't he lead Shadow Dragon Saga? I wonder why he's way down here. Oh, I think that's because of how Global released him, right? That's why he's here on this position on Global's banner, right? Otherwise, you have Fizz, Goku Black, and Kid Buu, two of the best Super ECAs, right? So that's, I mean, oh, and Super Saiyan 3 Go. Actually, so Goku's banner is totally solid, right? And add on to the fact that there's a non-zero chance that this Fizz Broly could Super Easy A during this celebration, right? This is actually a pretty solid banner, right? Even if you don't get some of the newer units, right? There's a lot of potential to pull some good units that are possibly going to Super Easy A on this banner. Looking at the other banner, the Piccolo Jr. banner, right? We got Super Trunks, we got God Goku, Yamcha, we got Gamma 1, who actually, with his equips on the Gamma's team, is actually really, really solid. Got this Goku, like on the other banner. Basically, everyone from Goku on to Angel Gold and Frieza is probably due up for an easy A here within the next year, I would say. I mean, especially because like we have Vegeta here who's already gotten his. There's a non-zero chance that this Broly gets an easy A during this celebration. So I mean, there's a lot of potential here, right? There's some good easy A's in the category easy A's here. Some guys that are still useful. AGL Zamos can still find some use. 13, Cooler and Goku Black work well in long events where you can stack and attack lower. So, I mean, they have some use here. But moving on down, same as I said with the other banner, right? You know, potential super easy A's. I would say Piccolo's banner, I mean, it doesn't have much. The only super easy A known is Gotenks here, right? Now, there's a very, very good chance STR Broly is going to be getting a super easy A during this celebration because he's the main featured unit on the Redstone. So I think it's like a non-zero chance that he could get it. In fact, I think he is the most likely candidate. So, I mean, there is potential here for the Piccolo's banner. But like if you're summoning on Piccolo's banner, unless you're missing one of these more modern ones, you're really summoning for potential future super easy A's, whereas Goku's banner, right, you're probably targeting one of the current super easy A's that we know of, right? Goku Black, or Kid Buu. Greater chance to pull one of those since there are 3 of them here. Now, in terms of overall value, which banner is more valuable? It's hard to pinpoint it because, I mean, really when it comes to this banner, it's more about what you need. For example, one year, right, I think it was the Cooler Worldwide Celebration, right? One of the banners was significantly better than the other. However, the banner that had, where is he hiding here? I think he's on this banner, right? However, the banner that had, where is he? Am I... there's Gogeta. He's in the categories, right? Whichever banner had, there he is. Super Saiyan 3 Bardock. Whichever banner had it that year, that was the banner I targeted because I knew this guy was coming up on an easy A, and I didn't have him, so I targeted the banner that had him. So really, I mean, it's hard to say which banner is more valuable. I would say in a quick nutshell, I would argue that probably Piccolo's banner has the greater value, even though, right, the potential for super easy A's isn't as high as the other one, because you still have God Goku, you still have Piccolo Jr., you have the Gamma 1, you have Super Trunks. I don't care what anybody says. If we can beat every major new boss currently with him, then he's usable, right? It has Tech Ultimate Gohan, Gotenks, right? Potential Broly easy A, and then of course the potential super easy A for Broly and Gotenks here. So honestly, I would probably argue that the list of featured units here is probably better on Piccolo's banner than it is on Goku's banner. But I mean, Goku still got some good one, right? Like I said, Kid Goku, World Tournament Goku, for modern units that are available here. Kind of okay on the Gamma setup. It needs a little bit of protection, but it can be fun to use, right? You've got Videl, who's coming up on her easy A. She got it already on JP. Global will be getting that soon. And then, of course, you know, you've got the value of the super easy A's here. But, I mean, in a nutshell, as far as moving forward, probably Piccolo's banner. But, again, it's all down to what you need. Now, the nice thing is that these banners, right, I'll just use Piccolo's banner, they aren't solely featured units here, right? You have a list of unfeatured units that you can pull on here, all the way up to the anniversary banner units, right? You also have LRs on here up to Super Buu, right? Now that does make sense because typically what this banner had done in the past was it was up to the part 2 LRs of the year prior, right? So last year's banner had up to Kaioken Goku and Great Ape Vegeta. However, obviously, this year is going to be a little different because Part 2 no longer has yellow coin LRs. So the most, right, the equivalent yellow coin LR of that last year was this guy right here, Super Boo. So that explains why he's the most recent featured on here. So I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, there's still a chance you can pull LRs. Plenty of LRs are still due up for an EZA. So, I mean, if you potentially pull an LR on these banners, it's definitely worth it. So now the question is, where do you spend your tickets, right? Do you summon mainly on this one with your memorial tickets when you get them, where it's seven tickets and for any summon and there's no SSR, or do you summon on one of these others? Well, that answer really depends on how much you get. So if you've got a ton of tickets, right, you can use 50 tickets to just burn through. Now I believe this banner is, I believe it's, you get one featured unit, if I remember correctly from last year, by burning the 50 tickets on that. It doesn't specify, so I don't know, maybe it doesn't. But I thought I remembered it from last year giving you at least one featured, or maybe we just got really lucky when we did it last year. But you could burn through the tickets utilizing this, right? The 50 ticket multi. So I definitely recommend going that way because your chance of well, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Because the 7 tickets, right, you'd be rolling the dice more, which means a slightly higher chance. But I mean, law of averages, it'll probably average out the same as whatever you did here with the 50 tickets, right? Now, with that in mind, I do want to note these banners right here. So there, I believe this, we double checked the in-game news here, but I believe this can be done once only, maybe. I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure this can only be done once only, and you can use 50 tickets to recruit 20 characters to your team. And so basically you get 20 SSRs with, if I'm reading this correctly, right, where is it? Okay, right here. So, yeah. Okay, so on the ticket one, it's unconfirmed. I guess we won't know till we actually pull on it. But you're guaranteed 20 SSRs, right? You're guaranteed SSR on this. And you'll get characters, not guaranteed featured. Now this one is not this one. Now there is another one where it's 20 SSRs guaranteed, and it is guaranteed featured on this banner. Now this banner does cost 100 dragon stones, and it is definitely worth it if you're somebody who's new to the game and just started within the last year. 100 characters for, or 100 stones recruit 20 characters, right? So if you were to do both, that's 200 stones, and it's definitely worth it, right? Because of this little tidbit right here, right? So when you do that, and this can only be done once only, right, for each banner. So once you do the once only summon, you get 20 SSRs, and the 11th to the 20th are guaranteed to be featured. So that's 10 featured characters. 10 featured characters. That is really good value. So if you have 200 stones to spare after you're done summoning on part 1, I definitely recommend throwing 100 stones on whichever banner you need the most units off of. It's going to be the most bang for your buck to kind of fill out your box, right? Because, you know, even if they're not the best, right, the potential super EZAs can help you fill out some teams, as well as just the general Dokkan Fest units that are available can help you maybe fill out teams to clear missions, right? Super Battle Road's still a thing. These missions for these various events are still a thing. If you're somebody new and you need characters, right, this is a good way to pick them up. And I definitely recommend, if you have 50 tickets, to utilize this one first, because again, it's going to get you the most bang for your 20 ticket, or for your 50 tickets. So I mean, that's really where the value is. Overall, like I said, I do feel Piccolo's banner is slightly more worth it, as you'll probably get better mileage out of the characters on his, since his banner does have a slightly more potential 4 easy super easy A's, especially considering that the STR Broly, who is more than likely the super easy A for the celebration, is on his banner. And if the rest of the super easy A's have taught us anything, he's probably going to be extremely good, right? They've knocked it out of the park with every super easy A. So while the others have more, knowing that we have a new Broly, knowing that we have an AGL Broly, that guy's going to be very, very valuable. So that's why I think Piccolo's banner is better. So guys, that is it for the video. That is what banner I think you should spend your tickets on. Again, at the end of the day, it is mostly up to what you need, but you know, there is some slight value one way or the other, but it is at the end of the day up to what you need. So if you guys liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let me know what banner are you going to be summing on and how many tickets you think you're willing to spend. Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.